English, I don't know if this is the same in Portuguese, but in English the word fortune has a double meaning. It means both a huge pile of money and also your fate. Is that the same?
Yes, it's the same.
Cool. And I was intrigued by this idea that we invest huge piles of money with such importance. There's this idea that is, I think, an illusion. It's a fake idea, really, that if we were to only become incredibly rich, we would become better. And I was just intrigued by this idea that we give this power to money, and that we think that money has the power to transform us, or at least we act in that way. I think it's completely untrue. I think that money does not change a person and can't change a person, and that in fact the only way of changing is by either being loved by somebody else or by loving something. That love is the only kind of transformative force in the universe, I think. So I started researching that, and out of that came the idea that I could use the zodiac as a kind of a governing conceit to structure a narrative. And as soon as I had that idea, it kind of fused, I guess, with another idea that I'd had in my mind for a long time, which is that I'd wanted to write a gold rush novel set in the New Zealand gold rush, which is a period of my country's history that I'd always been really interested in. So the two ideas came together, and then I suppose about 4 years later the book happened. Well, I have a routine when I'm working on a project, and if I'm not working on a project, I don't have a routine. So with the Luminares, for most of writing the book, I was working on it full time. I was very lucky. I had a couple of residencies in New Zealand, so I had no obligations apart from to show up at my office every morning and write, and then I could go home, and that was that. I would turn up at maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm not a very early riser, and work all the way till tea time, all the way through the day, and then come home and make dinner, and after dinner would read aloud what I'd written that day to my boyfriend, and then we'd go to bed, and I'd get up and do it again the next day. And that last part of the day where I would read aloud to him, and we would talk about what I'd written, was just absolutely so important to the writing process. To have somebody listening was so important, and just the physical act of reading the book aloud. Well, it wasn't a book by then, it was just words on a page, but it really makes you see your work in a different way. I really recommend it. You get nervous when you read to people, and that nerves are a good thing, because it makes you care, it makes you realise what you care about. And hearing your own words come out of your mouth makes you realise all of the things that are substandard, all of the sentences that don't quite work, or the images that are a little bit flat, or all of the shortcuts that you've taken, all of the cheats that you've taken. You hear it all, and it's terribly embarrassing. I look at Hollywood movies at the moment, and I see so little of interest to me. I just don't. I think that they've really lost storytelling. They've lost the art of storytelling in a lot of ways. We're finding stories in all sorts of different places, you know, in long-form TV series, and even in video games, which I don't play, but I understand from friends of mine who do play computer games that there's all sorts of narratives built into those games, and the best games are the ones with the best stories. We're going to find a way to tell our stories and to be told stories. And I think that nobody's ever invented anything that's better than the novel to do that. I think that the novel is the finest form for storytelling, and so long as we've got that, I think we're okay.